Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is a little delayed video. I got kind of sick again after my last cold. Kind of came back with a vengeance, but went to the doctor, got some antibiotics, and I'm feeling pretty great right now. So we got a couple more videos to get out before the end of the year. I want to thank you all for sticking by and tuning into this one. Before we get into the incredible, exciting unboxing, I want to talk about cuts real quick. So I'm from the UK and I've been in the US for about 7 years. And in all honesty, I've struggled to find clothing that fits well, looks good, and is affordable. And cuts is essentially the answer to that. Fits really good and is really soft. And most importantly, it does not shrink when you put it in the wash, which is what I found with so many clothes in the US. I don't know what it is. Anyway, definitely check them out if you're looking for incredible clothing. Enough of that, let's get into this unboxing. What I have right here is the brand new Sony a7IV. Really quickly, before I get into the unboxing, I just want to talk about my experience with cameras over the last few years. I've used a lot of different brands, and in reality, it doesn't matter what you use, just find something that you enjoy using, as pretty much every camera these days is just as good as each other. Now for myself, I've been using the Canon R6 extensively as my main photo and video camera. I'm currently filming on the a7 III. The reason why I've been juggling systems, I love the R6. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I've been very spoiled with what it has to offer, particularly when comparing against Sony. I've gotten so used to the flip out screen, I really can't go back to using one without a flip out screen. The grip and ergonomics are amazing, and the menu system are a joy to use. However, my issue is, if you're unfamiliar with my background, I'm a Tamron ambassador, so I have great access to a lot of lenses, and Sony is cooperating really well with Tamron these days. So Tamron is putting out some incredible glass for the Sony EMAT system. One of which I'm using right now, which is the 35-150 f2-2.8. This is probably the best lens that I've ever used, and I've used a ton of lenses. So I've just kind of hesitated fully going into Sony because it lacked the things that I was so used to with Canon. Flip out screen, ergonomics, and just menu usage. This is the answer to those issues. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to be comparing the a7 IV against the Canon R6 and to see if it's really a good fit and if it pushes me over the edge to fully commit to Sony. Let's get on into it. First up, we have the charging cable, basic paperwork, warranty card, things we've all seen before. Now they've definitely gone in a different approach to their packaging. It's not quite paper, it's not quite felt, but feels kind of interesting. This is just the kit lens, as that is the one that my local camera store had available. Probably seen this before, but they have included a leather camera strap, which is really interesting. Has the Sony a7IV branding. I never use camera straps, but it's kind of a nice touch, stepping away from the traditional kind of braided camera straps that they've had with previous cameras. Charging brick to go along with the cable. I guess this is more environmentally friendly packaging. It's not plastic like we've seen with other cameras and previous cameras. The NP-FZ100, which is the typical battery. Really good batteries, by the way. This is definitely something that Sony has an edge on over Canon. Their battery performance is fantastic. And the most important part, I'm gonna put this box aside. Oh wow. There we have it. There it is. This feels really good. The grip, from my understanding, the grip is the same as the a7R IV. It definitely feels, I've got the R6 right here. Canon has a very distinct kind of ergonomic feel. It's more rounded, less angular than Sony, but the grip on this feels very, very good. Obviously, I haven't put it out to use in the field yet, but definitely feels something that I can get used to. Much more enjoyable than the a7 III, that's for sure. Just want to kind of put them side by side so we kind of get a height comparison. The R6 definitely sits just a little bit taller still. So the grip is slightly longer. The body is slightly longer on the R6, but this is definitely a much significant improvement over the a7 III. Starting from the top down, we have a significantly different layout from what we're used to with Sony cameras. Shooters with the S3 may be familiar with this. Personally, I haven't used that camera, so I can't really speak to it, but we do have a dedicated recording button up the top, much like the R6. That's a nice change. It's not at the thumb area anymore, and that has been replaced with a custom button. The dial has also changed. We have 3 custom menus now, and they've added this extra function, twisty function. We've seen it on Fujifilm cameras, but it's weird because there's kind of a button that you have to press and push in, otherwise it's locked. And that allows us to change the photo, video, and then into S and Q mode. And Sony has also changed the exposure comp dial. So it's no longer just related to exposure. You can actually program it to shutter speed, aperture, ISO. I'm not sure if you can change it to anything else, but that's kind of a nice feature. It allows for a little bit more customization, and you can lock it as well, so you're not knocking it. That's something I found with the A7 III, is that I'll be knocking it often. The biggest thing I'm excited for is this flip out screen. And that's pretty much the #1 reason why I was leaning toward Sony, is because of the flip out screen. Not only is it great for photographs when you're down low or just at different angles, you're not having to bend down or twist your neck, but in videos, vlogging situations, and even video situations like this, I can look at myself, know that I'm sitting upright, know that my microphone isn't creeping in the frame, and I'm kind of guessing the A7 III. So it's just gonna be a whole, quality of life improvement if you're coming straight from the A7 III or A7R III or something like that, that does not have a flip out screen. Honestly, I didn't know if we would see the day where a flagship non-video only camera from Sony would have a flip out screen, but here it is in all of its glory. On the back, we have just a little bit slightly different layout from the A7 III. The buttons feel pretty good, and they're a lot larger as well, particularly with the thumb joystick. It's a lot larger, which is nice. A huge improvement over the A7 III. The memory card door is kind of weird. Oh, okay. I was doing that wrong. So you have to unlock it, push, and then it opens up. And they've added a CF Express card A to this. It's kind of a hybrid slot, which is really nice. Full-size HDMI slot. Oh, the microphone has a small door. This is a really nice touch because I don't know why they did it with this large flappy thing, but having a small door is a really nice touch. Well done, Sony. Now it's just that tiny little door to plug your microphone in. And you don't have to worry about fiddling around with a large door and having it hanging down. It's just a small door on a hinge nonetheless, which is really nice. Well done, Sony. That is a very nice touch. So this video is pretty much just comparing these two. Like I said, I've been using the R6 for the last year and a half, pretty much. And I can't really go into photos right now because Adobe hasn't updated their RAW compatibility with these files, at least as far as I'm aware. I know that some Australian content creators have already had their hands on this camera for the last few weeks, and they've ran into that problem as well. So once that gets updated over the next couple of days, I'll definitely be putting out photos on my Instagram at Johnny Roams. Definitely checking me out there because that's where a lot of the updates will be coming. Now, one thing that's very important to note, Gerald and Dunn did a video on this, and Sony doesn't advertise it, but the A7 IV has dual native ISO. And it's actually better than the Sony A7IV. This really matters most in video. So the secondary ISO kicks in at 3200, which means that when you're recording at say 1600, anything above, I don't know, like 500 all the way to 3000, you're gonna get better noise performance at 3200 than you would at like 1600, 2000, 2500, 2800, which is incredible for low light shooters and definitely something that I'm gonna be putting to use over the next few weeks. So that is pretty much it for this video. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for stopping by, I appreciate you hanging in there. If you have any questions about the A7 IV, like I said, I'll be pairing it with the 35-150. That in reality is just an unstoppable pair. Those two paired together, incredible. I'm excited to see what Tamron has next up their sleeve because their lenses have really stepped up over the last few years. So like I said, no photos at the moment, but definitely check out my Instagram at Johnny Roams and at JohnnyHill_UK, as once that RAW reader has been updated, I'll be posting on there over the next few days before the next video comes out. If you're not subscribed already, definitely hit subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1K subscribers as soon as I can. My goal was originally by the end of this year, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Obviously being sick kind of threw me out of sync with all the videos that I had planned, but I appreciate the support nonetheless. Once again, please reach out if you have any questions. And if you haven't subscribed already, definitely hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to know when the next video will be releasing. I hope you have a great Christmas, happy holidays, and a wonderful new year. And until next time, I'll see you later.